YouTube, what is going on, you guys? My name is Wang, and today I'm bringing you guys another video. I know it's been a long time, and I'm going to say this probably pretty frequently, but my hope is I'm finally a second semester senior in high school. I will have much more time on my hands, so my goal is to pump out one video a week, and maybe more if I can find the time for it. But today, I'm bringing you guys a video with Black Ops 3 gameplay that I just picked up in an arena, and I'm going to be talking about MLG Atlanta. Now, let me put a disclaimer out there. If you do not pay attention to competitive Call of Duty, then this may not be the video for you, but stay and watch the gameplay, because there's one really good moment in here that's, I think, a pretty nice play. I get an ace in a round, and if you don't watch competitive Call of Duty, an ace is when you kill all 4 players on the other team in the same round. So, there's a bit of gameplay there, and the reason it's not Infinite Warfare is because, frankly, I don't like the game. I think Infinite Warfare is completely broken. I think it's incredibly inconsistent, and we saw that with the placings at MLG Atlanta this weekend. I know, obviously, I'm recording this on what is the Saturday after MLG Atlanta. ESWC is going on, so I might throw in a few references to ESWC, but we're going to focus mainly on MLG Atlanta. My first overall takeaway from MLG Atlanta is Optic is the best team in the game. This pains me to say as an Envy fan, but also seeing how they're doing at ESWC. Again, I know it's not a takeaway just from MLG Atlanta, but just seeing their total body of work, Optic's the best team in the game. I think that if they don't play down to their opponents, which they did do at MLG Atlanta, there were a few times where they played down to the level of their opponents and they almost got knocked out, but they didn't. And they went on an amazing losers bracket run and won the whole thing and beat E United twice. My second takeaway from this event is that Envy is, in my opinion, the second best team in the game if they're on their game. I think if John's finger wasn't broken, I think they would have had a much better event. If you don't know the placings of the event, Optic placed first, E United placed second, Envy placed third, and Luminosity, I believe, placed fourth. So, in my opinion, Envy's still better than E United. E United beat Envy twice, right? I still think Envy's the better team. I think what happened was very much kind of a Leicester-like situation for E United. Nobody knew anything. Well, people knew that E United might challenge and might punch above their weight, but nobody knew that E United was going to not lose a game until the winners until not even the winners bracket final, but the grand final in total. Nobody knew that was going to happen. So nobody really, I think, prepared for E United as a team they might have to face, and so I think that definitely helped them out a little bit. And I think that if they were to play at ESWC, which is impossible now because E United didn't even get into they didn't get out of open bracket into pool play. Which I think shows you, the quality of E United. Best of threes obviously aren't the best representative, but I still don't trust E United over any other team. Also, my COD timing here really kind of sucks, and that happens to me quite often. I feel like because my COD timing's bad. But I feel like if E United were to play like FaZe, I feel like they would lose to FaZe. I feel like they would lose to LG. They might lose to... Well, they would definitely lose to Optic. I feel like they would lose to Envy. Maybe to Rise as well.
Switching sides.
And I think I just don't think that they're that good, to be honest.
Protect the objective.
And I think nearly any of the other top teams in the game would beat them pretty handily at that. Another one of my takeaways is Cloud9 needs to refocus. I love Aches. People that play Call of Duty with me know I have a hard-on for Aches. I do not hide that. I think Aches, in my opinion, is the greatest Call of Duty player of all time. I know a lot of people now say Crim6, or they'll say Scumpy, but for me, I think it definitely has to be Aches. And I just love everything about Aches. But at some point, yes, they were great at MLG Vegas. They placed second. But at some point, you gotta string consistency together, and if you're gonna talk a big game, you gotta back it up. And for them to talk this big game, and then for them to get their ass is handed to them pretty nicely on a platter. It's not something you can have if you're going to talk this big game and say, you know, we're a great team and we're going to challenge all these top teams. You can't go out and perform like that. I mean, what they did at MLG Atlanta was embarrassing. And so far at ESWC, as far as I know, they're 0-2. And Elevate beat them again. Elevate's beat them at 2 straight events. And the Reedy Aches banter is pretty fiery. So Cloud9 needs to get their act together. I think in general, from what I saw, I mean, I was only able to really watch Sunday, because I think FaZe is fine. I think FaZe is fine. I think FaZe, in their Optic series, I mean, it was just one moment where they choked it away. I mean, it was on the baseball hill, and they really just blew it. Also, that's so unfortunate for my teammate here. Just the RC, like, coming at him, and then the enemy blowing up the RC and killing him. Oh, that was off topic, but back on FaZe. I think FaZe is fine. I mean, their 2 losses were to Optic and E United, right? Optic was the team that won the event. E United finished 2nd. E United didn't lose to any team all event until the grand final. And I know I've been trash talking E United, but I still think that FaZe is totally fine. If they fix that, I don't know if it was the spawns or exactly what it was, but they just choked that hardpoint on baseball. And again, obviously they got beat last second by United, which knocked them out of the winners bracket. So I think FaZe is fine. I think people that are calling for a FaZe roster change are too. I don't know what they're to, but I feel like in general people in the Call of Duty community are always overeager to make a roster change. And I think teams that try and stick it out and work together typically do better than the teams that try to make radical roster changes all the time. Yes, I know FaZe has been together for over a year. But to me, this game still is fairly new. I mean, it's February already. And we've only had 3 real events, in my opinion. MLG Vegas, MLG Atlanta, and ESWC, which is going on right now. Yeah, you have the EU events, but as much as I love the EU scene, unless there's NA teams there, it's not considered a big event, in my opinion. So there's only been really 3 big events. One of them is happening right now. The meta has changed so much in these events, right? The OSA was by far the dominant gun at MLG Vegas. Everyone used the OSA. It melted. And then it got nerfed. And then nobody uses the OSA. So you just have this huge dichotomy between the 2 metas that are being played. And it's hard to judge one. It's for me, it's hard to like say one thing is better than the other or exactly what it is, but it's just kind of, to me, the game, we haven't seen enough events on LAN to really judge who the best teams are, in my opinion. We've had 3 events. 2 are happening like 2 weekends in a row, which is great. We need more events that happen frequently. But the other event was MLG Vegas, which I believe was in December. And that's like 2 months in between events. And those were the first 2 events of the year. And it's hard to judge how teams are doing when there's that much time in between events, and it gets really kind of hard to judge the teams. I know I'm not very eloquently explaining my points, but for me it's just really hard to judge teams based on everything that is happening besides MLG Atlanta, and that's, I think, what we have to use going forward. So if I were to have to give my team rankings, I would say Optic number 1, I would say Envy number 2, and then I would probably say FaZe 3, and most people probably think I have FaZe too high. Also, this was really unfortunate caught time right here. Right as I pull out my dart, I get shot, and then I can't get around the wall. I would say FaZe are probably number 3, LG are number 4, and then after that I think it's kind of a dog pit. And I think it's very random and janky down below. I think in general, some of the viewership numbers we got were actually much better than I thought they were going to be. including MLG.TV. Now, I will say this about MLG.TV while we're talking about the MLG event. I like the sidebar that gives you stats and fun facts, but it needs to be able to load better.
Get out of my sight.
Or when I say load better, I mean it buffers all the time, and there's constant buffering. But if they take that and they fix it, I think MLG.TV, although again it's on its own separate platform, is actually pretty cool. The stuff they have with it and the cool detailed options they have with the playback options, or not the playback options, but like the video playing on your screen. And I think that the fact that they got rid of all the ads is a really nice thing. So those are my thoughts on MLG Atlanta. I know it's very scatterbrained and it's all very kind of ranty, but I kind of like just being able to express myself in one take. So if you did enjoy the video, please comment down below what you enjoyed or maybe what I could do better on. And also subscribe so that way when I do start uploading more, you'll be able to keep up with the videos. Thank you for watching.